Good morning. Hello, good morning, everybody. Just check up the cameras here. Okay, that's good. Hello, guys. So today, just turn. Sorry about that. Hello, guys. So today we are going to. So today we have. I baked the hands. They're dried. It gets a bit transparent, as you can see, but it's okay, because when we put the clay, that's not going to happen. I'm going to put these hands away because we don't need it right now. Maybe we won't even need today. And him, I made him some dirty here, but it's okay. So for the face, we have the face pretty much ready. We just need to smoothen out those wrinkles. I have to clean up this spot that I made dirty here. And we're going to do that. But first, I want to finish this part here, and I can only finish that part connecting the neck because it kind of goes together. So just reminding what happened last class and why we stopped the face. And that's because I didn't want to start posing him and go for this full class of posing and connecting. I didn't think we would have time. And if we did, I would have to make the hands today, and to make the hands, I needed that structure done. So we're going to go back to the face. If you guys are working on that after, you don't need to stop where I stop. You can just finish the face and then do the hands after. It's just a matter of fitting everything in class. So to fit the face and to put the neck, I need the pose. Why is that? If I don't have the pose, let me just go back out here. So if I don't have the pose already, I won't have I don't know how the neck is going to fit the face, the head. Why? Because it can be like this, it can be like this, it can be like this, it can be like this. The way that the head is going to fit the neck is the way that the head is going to show on the pose. So to do that, I need first to have the pose done so I can decide how the head is going to be on the pose for a better sculpture. So for example, this sculpture here, you have to work with silhouettes to make a good sculpture. So this one here, that's the pose we're going to do, but he's looking down. If you make a sculpture like that, looking down, you will have a lot of work to make the face, and then pretty much you won't be able to see it. So you don't want to do that. You kind of want to do the same pose, but you want the face to be looking up so people can see it, or to look like this, or to look like that. Some position that people can see it, because it makes it more interesting. And you don't want to hide the whole face unless it's intentionally. But that's not what I want for Dracula. I want his face to be seen. So I'm not going to do exactly like that, but I will use this curve and this kind of these hands. I don't know what he's doing with the other hand. It looks to me like it's right there. I'm not sure. We can just create that, and that's fine. So to make the pose, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to measure him. Let me just get his measurements here. I do have it, 24. That's it, 24 centimeters. So I have his references here. That's for 24 centimeters. That's the size of our Dracula. You guys can go smaller if you want, or you can just go like that. And we are going to measure his legs. So we don't need to do exactly knee, and like he's not gonna have legs, so we just pretty much need to measure the size of it to know where unless you already can do that with your eyes, then it's fine. If you can't, then go with the measurements. And if you can't, and if you want to have an idea of how to do, you can do the height of him. So from this point this is something good to know. I will just mention to you guys. So from this point to the head, to the top of the head, it's like the same here. So you kind of can figure out the size of the leg. If you already have the height of the person, you can do this to kind of know where to go with the leg and don't make like too short legs or too long legs. So that's average. I'm just going to fold this better closer to the body, because this skeleton always come too far apart here. So I always do this. Make sure I can have, I don't need to have too wild hips here. If it's too much apart, you're gonna need wild hips to cover, and I don't want to do that. I want to be able to make thin hips if I want to. So I'm gonna put in here over my printing, and it's good. It's make sure to look, when you do this, make sure to look from the top what you're doing. Don't make an angle to see, because if you make an angle, you're gonna see wrong. So make sure to look from the top, and I'm not looking from the top. I'm actually using my camera to see. So just connect this and leave the penis here hanging in between these bones, and that's a good way to connect together, and the iliac touching the iliacs here, so you know where it goes. It looks in here that it's passing here, but it's just the arms are up and it's not passing. It's just the angle of the camera. If I put in here, and then you see there is still a neck in there, just because the camera is a bit on the angle. But anyway, then I'm gonna do this. Let me get up because I need to look from the top to be able to measure that. So this is where it goes, and I'm gonna mark here knees, just really to know if I decide to bend his knee a bit, and then heels. I mean end of the foot here. Okay, so I know where the leg finishes. So I mark this line and this line. This line and this line. Okay, once I mark that, I'm going to cut. This is too long. I don't want that long. And like it's good to have it long, because if you're making a female and she has high heels, then you're gonna need longer. But we don't need longer, so I'm just gonna cut, and I'm gonna leave some part to go on my base there, to go inside. I'm gonna leave it out here and try to cut same amount here, and I'm going to bend his knee here and here. So this is just to be a mark in there, and then I know. If you are still not familiar with the skeleton and you still mess up proportions a lot, you can put a toothpick coming to here from here. I mean a barbecue stick for this size. Put in here and tape it or wire around, and then put the floral tape, and then another one in here, and then the leg can only bend in the right spot. Same thing with the arms. So I did that. I do that for when I'm teaching classes, and it's like a very important pose. But for Dracula, really, it doesn't really matter how you're gonna bend his legs, because it's gonna have a gigantic skirt. He's not gonna have legs, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna peel this thread from my wire until my mark, so I know that this is where the foot finish, and that's the height of my sculpture. So I don't want to go past that line. Same thing here. I'm just going to peel it. There. And now I can get my base and I can place him here. I have several holes in my base because I have a lot of sculptures that I've done, and depending on the pose I poke holes in different positions. So this one I think is Doc and this one is Amy Winehouse, so I just have it out. And because it's Dracula, it doesn't matter. I might just use either, I can work with some different ones here. I'm just gonna go like this, like same as Doc, because it really doesn't matter where he's putting his leg, right? Like here, it doesn't matter. So it's good. I can put the whole thing in there. That's perfect. Because I have my camera going to the top, I would usually I just pose him here, so it just make it easier to pose him because he's standing, and I can just do everything. It's actually, for you guys be able to see the whole pose, what you can do is, if you can't see without everything in place, you can also measure the arms. So let's do this here because I already took him out, or we can just get him back, because you can also measure with your caliper the distances and then put in there. But anyway, so let's just measure this. We have him placed there, and I'm gonna measure the size of the arm, so I'm gonna put in here. I don't want the shoulders to be showing there, so it goes a little bit under, wire goes a little bit under the shoulder, and I will mark center of the arm. And here I'm gonna mark the pulse, so I'm gonna mark this line here. It doesn't have in this side, but it does have here, so this is what I'm gonna mark. So half of it here, and here. Same thing with the other one. I'm gonna mark the half, and I'm gonna mark the pulse. So if you go this side, it's just where there's this little curve where the hand actually bends, like this. And because we are doing this technique for the hand, we can actually cut the wire right in that line. You don't need to leave it bigger. You can cut it right there, because we already have the structure for the hand. So there you go. Just cut it off, and now we're going to get our hands, our structures of the hand, and we're going to put this on our arms. You can remove anytime you want. Let me just get some more wire to do that. I'm just gonna have red wire because it doesn't really matter the color. So I'm just gonna get this just to wrap around and keep it safe. It doesn't need to be a big piece. And I'm gonna put my hand so exactly where I mark. Let me get closer with the camera for that one. So just exactly what I finished my hand here, that is where all the connections happen here. I will place it. Let me just make sure to smash that to don't get it thick so it doesn't get on my way to my arm. So right there, and I'm going to put in here and wrap around. Because this is going to give me the full idea of the pose, and it's gonna help me. I'm not gonna worry about wrapping all the thing around, because I will take that out of here to sculpt the hand. So this is just to give me an idea. and I'll take it off so it doesn't need to be like super wrap around. We wrap it better when we are going to place it definitely to make the arms, so that is just temporary. And same thing here, just right there. And you can keep the hand here all the time until you are going to actually sculpt the hand. It's probably better to everybody, not just to me. For sure, for me it's better just sculpt the hand holding close to me, and I think probably for everybody that's best than sculpting the hands already attached to the arms, because you can't hold it close to your face, like to your eyes. I don't know, I need that. So that's why I still want to be able to remove it from here. And I'm gonna bend the arm where I mark. And if you don't know the mark, like I just lost my mark here, I can't really see. But we know that the arm folds on the wrist, so I'm just going to, it's just same level than this curve. I don't know the name of that in English. Here says narrow, I don't know, can't even read. So I'm just gonna do here and here. Okay, so now that I have the hands and the arms, I can really, oops, this hand get out of the way, pose according to what I want from him. So, oops, I'm out of the camera, sorry. So I'm just gonna pose the hands first to give me an idea of what I want. So I'm just placing it in the direction that I want. I'll go a bit farther now again. There. So the one going up like this to be scary. Something like this. This one can be lower here, and this one will be higher. Like this. I can change my mind after. Doesn't matter. The arms, because I'm not gonna do the arms right now. And again, I'm gonna put him here. Right there. And curve his back. Let me change the position of the camera so you guys can see from another angle here, and also my cell phone. So sorry guys, I'm just going to get the recording camera out of here. I'm not recording anymore, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm going to place my camera in another position so you guys can see what I'm doing here better. And just get my tripod, and after I do that I will probably have to go back to the other position, but if I don't do that we get such bad recording after, and it's worth to waste a little bit of time to get it better posed and better recording here for you guys to watch after. So just 1 second. If you're watching this after, you can skip up a bit unless somebody have a question and I can be answering in this time that we are not doing anything here. So I don't know why this here. There's so many things on the way that it's kind of hard. I think this is a good one right here. I won't be able to see what I'm doing, what I'm recording, so hopefully I do a good recording. Okay, Try to get this light out of the way a bit. And yeah, that's perfect. All right, let me get my computer out of here. It's gonna show my computer. I don't think it's a problem. Whatever. All right, now my cell phone needs to be like that. Let me see what I can do here. This right in my face, huh? Perfect. Okay, so now it's good again. Let's record. Where's my recording button? I can't even see anything anymore from the camera in this position. It's okay. So this angle is better, so I can actually pose him the way I do. That is on the base, and that is way better. So I'm gonna remove that part of the all this clay from here. I don't need that right now. I already smashed his ears. I'll fix it. And I'm going to put his head in there. Come on, head, get inside. Okay. And you see, if I'm posing, if I didn't do that, if I didn't do the pose and I didn't know that he was going to be like that, and I would just make his head like this, he would be looking absolutely down. And that's not what I want. I want him to look up. So I need to bend the neck like this. And his back can be a bit more curved here. He has a big curve on the back, and his neck is going to look even more like that. That's good. It looks pretty creepy. I like it. Not so much up, maybe this. And the leg doesn't really matter because we're going to put a big dress in here, so I'm not concerned about what's going on the bottom here. I'm really just concerned about the back and the way that he's looking to things in there. Okay, so I really like that. That's really good. And what we can do here is, he's gonna bend over a bit because the leg is not really super tight. So now I'm going to get my tin foil. And I'm going to wrap around. So for the leg here, when I'm sculpting something that I do care about the leg, before I pose like that, if the leg is not staying there, I usually put the tin foil around here and wrap around with wire to fix it, to make it strong in there. But because it's not legs, it's just a skirt, I really don't need to do that. I'm just gonna get my tin foil and I'm gonna place it in here, between the legs and everywhere in here, and tie up around or whatever works. Just get him out of the way here and press it and press it. And I'm gonna hold him with my tin foil, just kind of shaping the skirt. So let me see the pose. I don't think I want a lot of skirt. That's not the pose. I don't think I want a lot of skirt in the front. Oh, it can go because it goes all the way straight down. So you guys can see here, so it doesn't matter if there are a lot of skirt going on here. And you want to press this tin foil tight, so you don't want the leg to bend too much inside because this is going to make him shorter. So we kind of want to keep inside there. Dracula, he's tired. More tin foil here. And here. I'm gonna try to keep him up here, so. I could have done that in the first one too, instead of making so wide. That would probably give me better strength than this small one. So there, take that out. Didn't like that one. And this one I'm going to put in here. And that is going to hold him in place. That's great. And more. Some in between his legs. Some to the back. He has a very long skirt, and this also is good because it makes him stronger give you more surface to stick into the base, make it all stronger. So you don't need to make the full skirt because we're going to use real fabric. So this is probably good enough here. Something like that. And now we can also wrap around some wire to his body to keep it in pose. I mean, not wire. Oops, tin foil. Sorry, guys. Is it working? I think it stopped. Mine stopped. Okay, this I'm going to take his arms out of the way now, and I'm going to go around here and wrap that up. Here too. This is cool too. This pose looks like he's going to catch something. Let's see around. I think this is pretty much enough. I'm just gonna go right now like that and get everything connected together here with the tin foil. You can go more if you want, because there's a lot of clothes going on here. So it's really up to you. I'm gonna leave like that now, because it gave us already an idea of what is going to be. I might just wrap around here too, so I have it to stay in place. Actually, if I was leaving like that, like definitely I didn't need to wrap anything around, anything for around here. I could just go with the floral tape to hold it in place, but because I'm not gonna put floral tape on him today, I want to go for the neck now, so I'm just gonna put some more tin foil in there. There. Now this is pretty stud, pretty fixed. It's pretty good actually. Okay, and I'm gonna put his hands back. Maybe I want something like, yeah, this is better. Look, I like this hands better like this. Yeah, I really like that, way better. Good, very cool. Okay. All right, so once I have that, now I can work on his neck. Oops. And actually finish his whole face, get it all attached to his head, neck, and everything else. And I can remove him, like for working now, I could even remove him from here and work on the neck holding him, or I can just keep it and work with him staying in here. Whatever you feel more comfortable, it's fine. There's no rules for that. Okay, so I'm just soften my clay a bit before I place it in there. And because we are adding clay to clay, and this clay from the head, it's already pretty, not dried, because it just gets dry once you bake it, but it does dries out a bit. It gets harder, and sometimes it doesn't do the perfect connection, so we might get air bubbles and stuff like that. So it's good to add some gel. I'm sorry I'm shaking the phone, it's just because I hit it with my shoulder. So just add some gel to the parts that are going to connect. Not much, because it can make the clay that you're going to have to shape really soft. So just add some, and this is going to guarantee better results for like cracking between neck and head once you bake. It could still happen, but it's less chances to happen if, oops, if you put the gel. So yeah, so I'm going to squeeze it a bit here, just so I have my clay nice. And I'm going to go around his neck. There you go. Oops, I dropped his arm. That's okay. I don't need the arm right now, actually. I just need the neck. So his arms usually stay on the way. Sometimes I even take them out myself because they're on my way. And here, this head is quite dirty and weird, so I'm just gonna cut a bit just so I can have a better view of everything, and connect them together here. So it can look sometimes that the neck is too long, but it's actually not, because here is the shoulder, but there's still the trapezius that goes here, and that's going to make the neck shorter. So neck, let's talk about neck now that we're making this neck. Even it's for an old person, there's some differences, but it's still a neck. So the neck, 90% of the poses, the neck goes, there's an inclination to the front. So if you're relaxed and standing up, your neck is inclinated to the front. There's an inclination here, okay? If you are dancing and your partner throw it to the back and then you put your head all the way to the back, then that inclination is not gonna happen. But usually, pretty much every pose, other than that one and some other poses that you put your neck all the way to the back, your neck has an inclination to the front. I'm making his even bigger because he's all like this, and I think it's gonna match it. I mean, I think I'm making normal inclination for him if he stands up. It's kind of what it is, but he's looking up, so yeah, it could probably be smaller. And then the neck is going to connect from the side view. It's going to connect from this, the spine here in the center, like the last one. This is the center of your neck, so you can either make a line from here to the center of the head, and it's where you see the cranium finishes here, right? So you have the skeleton. It's easier because you already have the cranium. If you're working with not with the skeleton, you have to make sure to make your cranium smaller than your jaw. Okay, the cranium finishes here and then the jaw comes down. A lot of people connect this together, and that's wrong. So cranium is smaller and then the jaw, and then the neck is going to connect to the center, where, like looking on the profile, right after this, the oval of the cranium finishes here. I mean, not finished because it finishes here, but start like going to the last curve here, then the neck is here. It's attaching there. So it's kind of like in the bottom of this egg. So there until the spine here, and you can make a line because it goes, should be center with center here with here. So it's missing clay in one of my sides in there. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get a closer view to, well, I can put the clay after and show with, okay, let me just go closer here. Now if I go closer you guys can't see, never mind. Let me just get him out. So here, you see it's missing clay here because it's not centered. So to this camera, it's missing clay on this side here. Okay, I'm gonna work with him out of there. Let's make it better for cameras. And I'm going to attach under his chin here. I'm not attaching in the right position. I'm just really attaching so it doesn't keep on escaping from here. The only problem on holding him here is that I might smash the ears even more than I already did. So there you go, it's blended, it's attached. Okay, so now for the front, so you connect the back from spine to the bottom of this oval here, bottom, and then in the front you connect right after this little ball. Let me remove some clay out, and you can see here from your external bone this, like this external, it goes right in the back of that external and right to the back. Clean up a bit here so you guys can see better, and it gets better pose here. It's kind of bending there because it's missing clay this side. And from here it goes to the center between the jawline here, the end of the jaw and the chin, kind of like the center is where is the connection of the neck. Of course, he's old and he has a big, way more stuff going on there, but the average, that's what happens. And I think his neck is long. I think I'm gonna have to cut a bit, because he's putting his head to the front like that, and it makes the neck to look longer, but I think this is way too much. I'm gonna cut it. So move that out of here. I'm gonna have to start all over again. I'm just gonna remove it all. I do that fast without explaining, so it's okay, just because I think it's really too long. So let me just cut a bit. It's either too long or the hole. Usually I don't cut the neck. What I do is I dig the hole in the back with the drill, the back of the head. I drill this hole bigger so I have more wire inside, which makes me more comfortable to work. But because my drill was without battery and I'm in class, I'm just gonna do that. So right here, and I'm going to do this. And place him in here again, just to see the pose. Yeah, I like that. That's a better neck. And I'm still placing him going to the front with an inclination. Okay, so let me do this again. I'm not gonna put more gel because this clay now it's stickier than it should. It's gonna handle it. And if I put more gel, it might be too soft, and I really don't like working with too soft clay. So yeah, you want a long neck, but not that long, especially if he's putting his head like this, because it squeezes the neck here and stretches in here. And it was everything too long. There you go. So I'm just doing the same that I did before. And I'm going to connect the neck now with those information I gave. So end of the spine here with the bottom of the cranium here. So you have the right thickness on the profile. And here it goes from the end of this ball over the sternum, and just to thicken here, and the center of the jaw here, which this is for a young person. For an older person it passes the center because everything falls over. As I said, we melt down, so yeah, the skin attached together and that becomes bigger, everything becomes bigger. Okay, now I'm gonna remove him from here so it gives me more freedom to work the bottom of it, shape it better. Oh, and on the side, I didn't say the thickness of the side veil is a little bit thinner than the jaw, a little bit, almost the same thickness of the jaw. A lot of people tend to do way thinner than the jaw, and that's wrong. That's because how we draw people when we're young, but it's not way thinner. It's pretty much the same thickness of the jaw. Okay, and something else that we tend to do wrong with necks is that we make this part and we make it thinner here and larger when we go down, like this, like an angle on the neck. And it's not an angle, it's all straight down. So don't make an angle. This angle is just the trapezium. When we connect the trapezium here, that gives the feeling of an angle, but this angle just happens in the back, it doesn't happen in the front. So we're not going to place an angle here. We're gonna go that. No angle, and don't cover this ball, go all the way back there. And then you keep the right angle. There you go. Still looks long, as I said. It's supposed to look long, don't worry. This is because it was too long before, but it will still look long. But once we put the trapezius here, then it won't. I mean, unless it's really too long. Okay, so now that I did that, I can put the trapezius so you guys can see how it feels better. So the trapezium, let me attach the arm back here. I already asked the store to make this wire a little bit deeper. It's just easier for us to move the arm. This is older skeleton. Hopefully they already made the new ones with more wire inside. So I'm going to get like a triangle here. I'm not going to do the whole trapezium. The whole trapezium come here and goes all the way to the back. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to do the shape of it here on the neck, so it comes from the back to the shoulder like this, not all the way to the head, but almost there, and it have an inclination to the front like this. And goes like a triangle here. And this is going to make the neck to look way shorter. There we go. That's great. I'm gonna put a little bit of it's not gonna show. I don't need to put this color because I don't have a lot of this color left. I only have that, and we still have two hands to do, so I'm gonna save that color and just work with the, just put in some here because this is already the back of him, and can just, it doesn't look so weird. We can see better how the neck finishes here, and the trapezius goes all the way there, just to make like a back view for the trapeziums as well here. So you don't need to have muscles to have a trapezium. If you have a muscle, your trapezium is going to be more like a ball here. I'm gonna go like whoop. If you don't have muscle, it just goes like that. Because here there's the trapezium keep on coming here, and this is dirty clay, but it doesn't matter because there's a dress here covering all. There's hair here. I have a dog, I have a cat and 3 dogs right now. Only one is mine, but I'm a foster, so right now I have 3 dogs, so I have more fur than average, and I plan to keep on having always 3 dogs to foster at least 2. If you guys hear some barking, I apologize. My foster dogs are not very educated. Yeah, so here also I'm not gonna worry a lot about it because there's his hair, dress, and everything else. So this gave me a very good idea already of everything that I'm planning. And I think this hand going up and this one staying here, it's going to be amazing. I really, really like it. Wow. I love it actually. Alright guys, so we got here. Now we can work on his wrinkles on his neck and face, between his neck and face. So I wish I could already go back to the other camera pose, but I'm not sure if I can work with him like that or not. Maybe I can. Let me try. If I keep this pose, it's harder for me to give zooms because I really cannot see the other camera, not the cell phone. I'm not recording right now. If you guys have some questions or something to add, so I rather, when I'm doing details and stuff, to be able to give zooms, so I rather the other angle for that one, but that one's faster to add. I don't have to fix tripods or anything because it's already all in here. All I need is to screw the camera in and that's it, ready to go. Okay, so let me put his pictures in here, and now I have to put the cell phone in the same pose as the other camera. So right there, here, and that also takes the cell phone a little bit away of my face, which feels better to work because the cell phone gets right in my face and it's kind of hard to work with. So, okay. Let me just go like, okay, here. Yeah, that's pretty much what I've got there and there. Okay. Good, good, good. And I can work with him here, and that's perfect because then I can put his dress under the, like, away from the table. That's really good. Okay. So this is actually really good to work now. I can hold him here, and I could either remove the arms or keep the arms in there. It doesn't really matter. So now let's work on this connection here of the face and the neck. So starting from, I'm gonna start with this wrinkle here, going down, because let's squeeze the ears here. I'll fix that after. Doesn't matter. So here, going down there, and it's kind of one thing together, and ours is not because we did not have the neck. Oops. Okay. I don't know if I showed, so let me show it again. So we're gonna start with this wrinkle here in front of the ear, going all the way down there. Oh, actually we should start with this one first, because those ones kind of connect to this one. So let's start with this one first. Some hair in his chin. Okay, so I'm gonna make a little tube snake and bring this farther in here. So as I said, the distance where the insertion it is for older people, it's smaller. It's not in between, because we gain all this skin that falls here. So this is all skin dropping when we're older, so that we have smaller chin when we get older. And this goes all the way back in there, falling like this. Still, don't lose this ball here. Keep it connecting behind the ball there. I mean, not ball, this structure here, the external bone here. And then we're going to push the clay to the back and here. Push or pull. I never know if it's push or pull. In Portuguese, push means pull. So I really get confused with that one. When I get to the door, push and pull, I never know what to do. I have to think a couple of times because it's so confusing when it's exactly the opposite. I'll remove some of here so I know it's going in the right place in there, because it was coming too much and it was covering, so you know it's wrong. So that really helps you to keep the neck in the right spot when you have the skeleton structure. Okay, and this will blend in together. We don't really need to disappear with the lines right now because we're gonna add more stuff in here, so never mind. Okay, and as you can see, there are more wrinkles here that we can either do it now or do it after. I'm just gonna mark right now, not even caring about those little things. I'm not using the right position, just so I can see what's gonna look like, and then I'll do it right. Okay, now I'm going to work with that one that I said before, the one that goes from the ear to the back in there, because it's bigger. Falls in here. This one falls right there, and it's just become one thing. Jawline and neck are all mixed up together once we're older. And it's just all the skin that falls in here. And it goes all the way here. And these two come one thing together till here. To here, kind of like one thing together, just with more wrinkles. So that's what I'm doing. I'm bringing the clay all the way to this wrinkle here, and kind of like making an angle up, just like I'm seeing there. This one also kind of goes under the chin, so I'm just going to continue it there. And here. And now it does have some divisions here. 2 and 3. So it's probably too big. This is kind of more. If you look here, also here, it's like there are some skin falling here, losing skin, so I'm just gonna add to it. Like this. And here. It's also too thin, so I'm just gonna add more to it. There. Look at the difference. And then we can also look in the front image to see if it's good. I think this one is falling too much here. It's more down here. And this kind of like it's skinnier, so it looks more like a soft skin falling. Something like that, see? Looks better. So same thing with the other side. So I'm just doing the same, kind of matching the two sides here. So a lot of people think neck is not a big deal, but actually a neck is a lot important for a sculpture, because if you make a wrong neck position, it will give you the wrong movement in your piece, and it's going to lose movement. It's going to look like a not well done sculpture because of the neck. It's very, very important to do the right neck, and especially if it's an old person and you don't put an old neck, you really, it doesn't look like an old person anymore. You lose a lot of aging because the neck ages a lot. So it's really important to make a nice neck. That's why I'm not worried about spending too much time in here. It's good for you guys to know that neck is important. Even if it's a younger person, everything in the neck is important to give the right movement to your piece. So if you're making a nice shape, a nice position of the neck, it's super, super important. So don't underestimate the importance of a right neck in your sculpture. Just put in some wrinkles that I can see here. Here. There's a lot of wrinkles in there. Just so I can see, I'm not really putting the right position, but it's kind of like this. I'm just gonna mark big the direction of the wrinkles, so I'm following this one now. Here. And the ears actually Remember that I said I can't really connect the ears because the ear connect all the way to the neck. So we have to make the ear longer here too. It's just one full thing. It goes all the way together. That's much better. Now, I smashed the ear. I have to redo it. I really like it. Okay, so same thing with this ear. That's what it was weird about mine. It was the ear was not coming with. It's kind of one same thing here, just with a wrinkle in here. Bigger wrinkle. So I just mark strongly the wrinkles, and then with the tool I kind of come here and kind of press it down to smooth the big wrinkles I made, and I clean up those little things that come out when you scratch the clay. Kind of like smash it so it gives a more, I don't know, it becomes more realistic because it's not just a scratch, it becomes more like a folding. Here I'm just going to kind of connect, but I'm not concerned about making smooth because his skin is not smooth at all, so I'm not concerned here. All right, so this is pretty good. I like it a lot. The cell phone is running away from the right pose. I made some damage here. Let me, I'll leave it right there. There. Oops. Farther. And right now, I'm going to smooth those wrinkles out. Not just the ones I just made on the neck, but the ones that I made last week on his face. So I'm getting my alcohol and my oil. First, let me just check again on the wrinkles I made last week, because I hold his head so many times that I probably lost a lot of the wrinkles. Oh, I forgot to do this side. Blend it in this clay. So yeah, again, I probably lost a lot of the wrinkles I've done because I squeezed the leg to put it in here. And no, I didn't. So here, the eyes. These ones I didn't really do it because I knew I was going to have to connect these things here. And here I lost some. I lost texture, so I'm just gonna put more texture here. Oops. And also to the wrinkles I just did, I'm going to more press it down better with this thinner tool. and add some texture to it too. I didn't add. I'll make some skinnier wrinkles. It's also important to have more than one thickness of wrinkles and texture. A little closer. Cell phone is not focusing what I want. Let me just, I think if I touch it in here, it will. Oops. Almost dropped the cell phone. It's because this thing is broken. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so just pressing my tool. As I said, try not to scratch, but to squeeze is better, not squeeze, to mark it. Like pressing my tool down instead of scratching the clay. The first ones I scratched it because I just wanted to mark. There. It's missing this connection here. Let me just add to it. Because when we look up like this, we do make like a fold your skin in the back of your neck as well. So it's not the same pose as this one, so we can add some skin here. It's not going to show because his hair is going to be in the front and his dress has a long thing in here. Not dress, I don't know the name of this kind of clothes. So just, that's pretty good already. And for what's going to show, that's great, because any of the trapeziums or anything like that will show. So that's more than enough. Okay, so now that I have all the wrinkles and texture that I want, I still don't. Let me just add some to here. And it seems like this side is bigger than the other one, so I'm just gonna match it up. It's better. Now I'm just putting some texture and fixing wrong clay in here, wrong wrinkles, wrong. we go. I like that already. He looks quite old, wrinkled. And now that I did that, I'm going to soften all these wrinkles and texture, because this is just scratched and pressed down things. It does look pretty good, but it doesn't look 100% realistic because of that. Let me just clean up this black thing in here that I have no idea what it is. It's probably just printing. I probably dropped the face over the printing and the paint came out, which you can clean up with a tool. And if it's too much and you don't want to mess up your clay, here I'm just adding more texture to it, and it's okay. If you don't want to mess it up, you can just clean up with alcohol. It's going to leave it really clean. So I'm just adding more wrinkles and cleaning, like scratching, because he's all scratched out, so it's okay. Here it's also good to add more, because I hold here with my hands to put the head on the right place. So I messed up some wrinkles here, so I'll just add more. And actually his hair goes all the way here, so this is going to show too, so I'm just going to add more. Even though he doesn't have wrinkles on the forehead, I'm still going to make some texture, something. And for texture, they don't need to go all in the same position. It's just texture, skin texture, so you can go and come back and go in different directions, and that's okay. Just don't let those things go up like it is going. So if it happens, you press your tool down and get rid of it. Just giving more skin texture here. I just noticed it's not enough, it can be more. For an old person, the texture also gets more visible. Good. Okay, now that I have that, I'm going to soften. I lost this arm again. It's okay. I'm going to get a brush. Let me see which one here. I think this one is good. I don't want it to be, the brush to be super soft, and I don't want it to be hard. So you want kind of like the middle way between soft and hard. But it can't be a scratchy brush, like, you know, the ones that leave scratch marks. Don't get one. So it's kind of soft but firm, soft and firm. I'm gonna get some baby oil, mineral oil, and I'm going to go all around his face. And I'm not gonna put a lot of pressure, because if you put a lot of pressure you might disappear with the wrinkles. But I'm gonna put some pressure to soften those wrinkles, and I'm gonna try to go in the same direction that they're going. So this is going to avoid that the wrinkles look like scratched skin and looks more like wrinkles. You can go in the ears as well, go everywhere, and keep on doing this until you notice that your skin actually wrinkles and your skin look like wrinkles and skin. They don't look like scratches anymore. It's way softer than scratched. And you can go everywhere, because we didn't do it. We didn't do that on his face, so just go for it. And you will see that is gonna get so much more natural than if you don't put the mineral oil. I'm not gonna do the whole smoothing process here. You guys are gonna do it in your house and you will see what you want. You still want the wrinkles, but you don't want them to look like scratched by a tool. You want natural wrinkles, and you're gonna get the result with the oil. And then when you think you got it, when you think you got it, you're gonna get the alcohol. So let me get the alcohol to show. And I can do that smoothing part out of camera because it's kind of like a long, and there's not much to teach out of here. It's pretty much, you guys will have to see there, because not even in camera you're not gonna be. Oh my gosh, I stopped recording with the other camera. I forgot to charge it and I didn't hear a sound for it. I don't know, I hope I didn't miss too much of it. Sorry, let me just connect the other camera again. And hopefully I didn't miss a lot of class, because I want to put the edit version, but I've been missing quite a bit. I might not be able to do the edit version, because that's happened in the first class too with the other camera that keep on stopping recording it, and now it's happening again. So hopefully I didn't lose a lot. I'll check it after. What? Sorry guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, so once we mark all the wrinkles, I'm just gonna repeat that because my camera stopped recording and I still have some smoothing to do. So I'm gonna repeat that part in case of I miss some recording. So once you mark all the wrinkles and you like it, you're gonna get baby oil, mineral oil, and go around him. Avoid using Johnson & Johnson. Use another brand that doesn't use cancer products in your child. Don't support bad brands. And you're going to not put a lot of pressure, but also not put any pressure. So some pressure, like a soft pressure. So you see that the wrinkles that look like scratch start becoming more like really wrinkles and losing the scratch look of it. And then once you did it, I'm not going to do the whole thing in here because it's quite of time consuming to be smoothing that out. I mean, it's not a lot of time, but to be watching in camera, I think it's pretty annoying to be watching me smoothing wrinkles that you can't even see what's going on in camera because it's so soft changes that you will need to do it yourself and look to your own sculpture to be able to see what is happening when we put the oil and how a scratch mark start looking like natural and less like a scratch. So you have to have this experience in your hand, especially if it's that small, so you can actually see. So once you do all the smoothing, I'm gonna do it after, you're gonna get alcohol. So rubbing alcohol, isopropyl, you can use 99% or 95 or whatever is highest that you can find, and you're gonna clean up this oil. And what that's gonna do is it's going to show you better how the skin is actually looking like, and you won't lose the texture because you didn't put pressure on your brush. You didn't put a lot of pressure, you just gently pressed, so you won't lose any texture or anything. And the alcohol is going to quit to fade the shiny oil, and you're gonna actually be able to see the clay better, because when you put oil it kind of camouflage under the shiny. It's just like the bodybuilders put oil on their skin, the body, so it camouflages the skin problems and pop out some shiny things. here's the same thing. If you make it shiny, it kind of like hides what's actually going on, and you're not sure. And then you bake it, and then when you bake it, lose the shine, and then you can see more stuff. So you kind of want to do that before you bake, and the alcohol is amazing for that because it cleans all the oil out, even the oil that is natural of the clay, because the clay is oily. It kind of like take off the first layer of it, and you can see everything that is happening there way better, and it gets closer to what it's going to look like after baked. So you want to and it also smooth it out even more. So you want to add alcohol, and don't try to rub it strong because you're going to lose texture and it's going to mess up. Just wait for the alcohol dries itself, and then it's going to show you the real skin and everything that is in there. And then after you smooth and get everything that you like perfect, then we can paint it. I am not going to paint today because it's already late to start painting, and I think it's too much information for one day. So we still have a couple minutes of class. I'm just going to put more alcohol here to be able to show you guys once it dries out the oil, because if you don't put enough alcohol, then it's not going to dry the oil. So you keep on adding more alcohol. You don't need to scrub, it's just kind of like let it drop, and then it's going to clean your clay and show without the shiny parts, which probably in camera you probably won't be able to see it, but do this experience in your home and you will see. Even if you're not making Dracula, make some texture on clay to practice and then to see what happens. And then when you're ready to do an older person, then you know. Or even to smooth out young people, it's good to use the alcohol. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here. Let me get that out of here, put my hand. And this is what we've got. I'll try to go with zoom with the other camera. There. So this is what we got, and I'm going to keep on smoothing and taking better look during the week with the out of camera, give myself more time to work on it so we have a better result, and then we can paint the sculpture next week. Okay, so for now we still have 20 minutes of class, and I didn't soften some clay to go around his body, so I'm not going to do that. Or I could do with the brown clay. I'll just get my pasta machine close to me. It makes it easier. So instead of doing that, which naturally it's what I would do if I wasn't teaching. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get some of my clay here, the Dracula's color, and I'm gonna place around the hand. I'm just gonna do one, and then I'll do the other one out of camera as well. So I'm going to soften my clay and then make one more step for those hands. I'm gonna get this one that the arm is out already and do it, and the other one I'll just unwrap the red wire. So now it's going to be way easier to wrap this clay around because there's already some clay in there. But still have to be careful to don't move the clay, because this clay that we put in, the liquid clay, it holds it in spot but not 100%. It's still flexible, so you still have to be a little bit careful. It will not come out so easy out of the spot, but if you put the wrong pressure in certain areas, like the beginning of the finger, and there's a big finger here, it might drop down a bit. So you can still fix the pose, and you still have to be a bit careful to don't lose the pose that you gave to it. So I always like start with the fingers because they are the hardest ones. So slowly and gently wrap each finger. And you don't need to wrap them separately when you get to the hand. So the hand start after this bone here. I'm out of camera. Okay. I have to be here with the cell phone. That's better. Okay, so just wrap the finger. I'm sorry I did it out of camera. I'll do the other ones, you guys will see. And make sure to leave those parts of the folding bones here pretty big, because it is big. See, sometimes we don't realize how much pointy it is, so make it pointy. Don't be afraid to make it pointy, especially if it's like a monster hand. You can even like exaggerate in the pointy parts and it will look more monstery. I don't even know if that word exists. Okay, and a bit more here for the next finger. So just don't forget, you still have to be gentle. This might still change pose a bit. It's way harder than the wire alone, but it's still flex, some flex. There's some flexibility to it. At least with the PV gel, there is some flexibility, because I know PV is strong and it's more flexible than other clays. I don't know if you use Fimo liquid gel or Scopi, if it's going to still have any flexibility, which I like the flexibility, because if I still want to change the pose, I can without cracking. It makes it easier, it's a bit more firm to work, but it still gives me some flexibility, so I think it's perfect. So I'm making sure that the bones are marked out and very pointy, like this and this. So this and this. This one is not, because when it goes up, it disappears. When your finger goes up, there's no pointy bone in here. So that one I didn't do it. But this one here, I'm doing it. You can even, if it helps you, pinch a bit to make it pointy. Then for monsters, you don't want to make too fat. Monsters have more skinny hands. I mean, I don't know if you're creating your own monster, but Dracula have skinny, because make long fingers and skinny. So you want to kind of keep that in mind. Start with the very skinny, and then if you think it's too skinny after, you can still change it. And always I put a little inclination on the tip to every finger. I think it looks more realistic and give more movement to your hand. And under the bone, make sure to do the marks of the folding, the banding. I didn't do this one. You can do it now, or you can do it after. You don't need to add all the details to the finger right now. Pretty much covering first. But it kind of helps you. I like to give at least the folding under the bones, because it shows me better where the bone is, and it shows me better the movement of the hand. I'm just gonna add some more clay here, because maybe I'm able to pull from here. Yeah. Just a bit more in the center here. I'm not shaping the fingers completely right now. It's kind of covering and giving some right shape to it, not perfect. There. And next one, cover again. There. You have to be careful where you make the pointy of the bone, because if you do it in the wrong spot, the finger might look short in some areas. So make sure to put in the right spot. Like here, I kind of brought it too down, and I was folding this too much in here. That's gonna give me short fingers. So make sure to try to cover the wire, like centering everything, so you don't lose the right place of any bone. Like you see here, there's way more clay this side than this side, and then it looks like the finger is wrong, so I'm just going to bring that off here and cover in the right spot there. See, now I can see the folding better, and I can fix my bones. My pointy bones. Also look to your first bones, like the other bones. So this one would be here, it's hiding. This one, it's here, it can be a little bit higher than this one, and this one is lower than this one, so it's right. But they go like this in an arch. So you can still see to see if it's following the right direction, then you're sure that you're putting in the right position. Because sometimes depending on how you fill up the wire, you can lose that, right? You can put more clay here, keep on going, and go all the way here and make a bone here, and that's not going to be right. So you kind of have to go center, keep the wire in the center of your clay, and then you don't make that mistake of making the right structure and the wrong filling up structure. You can really mess up your sculpture on the, even if you have the right structure, if you don't cover it properly. There we go. That's better. You can leave some wire showing right now at this stage and get the wire out in the next stage. I'm gonna cover the little guy. And I'm going to put it in there. See, when you place it, sometimes you put the clay not in the center, so make sure it will be in the center. And make sure that you're gonna fold it properly. So you can start on the top like this and squeeze it down, and then you know it's everything in the right place. Or you can even put one clay here and then another one to the bottom to make sure that it's right. If you are not familiar with the shape of the hand and the structure really helped you and you're afraid to cover it wrong, you can cover the top, still look to the bottom to see, and then you cover the bottom with another piece of clay after the bones, the pointy bones are all marked out. And then at some point you're going to be familiar and you will know if you mess up the place. When you see it's like, oh, this is wrong here, let me fix it. So it makes it all easier. the time. So we still have 5 minutes. I was a bit late to start so I can finish this hand for this class. So if you're watching this and you already got it, what I'm doing, I'm just gonna cover this hand, and that's it. So here I'm just bringing the clay here because it was left over, and I'm gonna have to bring there anyway. So it's good. So see, I put the top part of the little finger. I forgot the name of the little finger. Doesn't matter. So I cover the top, and then I look to the bones. I can still see that they are bending in the right direction. And now I cover the top, the bottom of it, and connect them together. And then I'm sure that all the bones, the pointy bones, are placed in the right spot. Okay, so yeah. It is a bit thicker than I want, but we can fix that in the next step of the hand, or you can fix it right now like I'm doing. I say something and I just like fixing things. Okay, and the thumb. So same thing, make sure that the clay is centered when you cover, and mark down the pointy bone here. And now it's too thick, so I'm just gonna bring this clay down here and down here, and maybe use the same clay to connect the bottom. Also, inclinating the tip of the fingers help me to know the position of the finger better, because then I know that the nail is going to be right on top of this inclination, the tip up, going up. So I know this is the nail there. And now I'm going to cover the hand. So let me get more clay. And I'm just going to place it in here. I'm going to try to keep the position of the bones here too, so I know the direction that the hand is going. But I will have to add more muscle and more stuff to this hand after. Just right now I want to keep it visible. In the next class we go for more detail on the hand here. I'm just gonna get all the way to the bones here and connect them with the clay coming on the bone all the way to the first bone here. Still having these ones are together, but we have to mark it like to see where is one finger and where is the other one. Then you can mark between the bones as well, like this. And then at the end here, the hand goes all the way to the end. The wire is not gonna have that curve, or you can just add it with clay, or you can add it in the next phase. And inside, let's put some clay inside. I'm not gonna give a hand shape still. I'm literally covering wire right now. But just respecting where the fingers are, so you guys are gonna see that this is gonna help with the hand of the shape too. So you see how this wire is deeper than this. I'm respecting that, not removing that, and this is already going to give me a way better hand shape. Just here, the other part is already covered, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to cover this wire here. That's the last one that needs to be covered. And going all the way here to the end of the hand. There we go. There we go. And that's it for today. I'll cover the other hand too after, like, all out of camera, because it's just the same thing, and it's pretty much a lot of too much time to waste in class doing something that it's the same and it's not even hard. Like, there's not complication here. It's pretty much what I did was cover the wire and make sure that the pointy bones are placed in the right spot. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. We got to the end of the class, and I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you all next Saturday. Thanks for joining me. Bye bye. I stopped recording. Let me just show what we've got today. I really like this guy. Let me put this arm back in spot so give you guys a better view. See if I can hold on. Let me just drop the phone a bit. I need my two hands now. I'm still here. It's all dark, but I'm still here. There. All right, so look at that. How good it is. I really like it. See, we don't even have a hand yet, but I already like it. I'm shaking so much, I'm sorry. Okay. All right, guys, I have some questions for today. Or not? Well, if you have questions and you're watching this after, don't be shy, just comment. You can either comment on YouTube or on Patreon. I will see either way, and I will have, it's my pleasure to answer and explain everything better to you. Okay? So, bye-bye, guys. See you next Saturday. Bye.